into conversation with boy you know where I let the truth be told. You can talk trash, but you can't take me out. On this channel, I educate you, I empower you, and I entertain you through conversations. So join the family. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's all be friends. My Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share this video. So we need to know our own personal style, how we communicate, and adapting to other people's style of communicating. It limits misunderstanding. It limits misunderstanding when you know your style of communicating and you know other people's style of communicating. It avoids misunderstanding. Although, for me personally, I believe that sometimes those times, quote unquote, bad times, are not really bad times because you learn in that time. So it's not a bad time. You learn it, so it's not bad. And misunderstanding paved the way for a better understanding of each other. So I sometimes feel like you need to know things by going through some trials. Okay? Yes. What don't kill you only make you stronger. You know what I'm saying? What don't kill you only make you stronger. So during that time, the so-called bad time, it's not really bad time. No, it's not a bad time because you're learning. It's not. And when you have a misunderstanding, it paves the way for a better understanding. Y'all now understand each other. We understand each other. Sometimes those times it's needed in all forms of relationships. It's needed. Relationships don't go through times like. So we're gonna be talking about styles of communication. So have you learned your style of communication? And are you still in the process, or are you still developing to learn other people's style of communication? Like, have you grabbed their way they communicate yet, or you still trying to figure things out? You have not yet reached there. Well, this video is for you. I got you. Come on here and listen. Come and listen. I got you. You need to know so that you can have a better and a healthy relationships. Okay? The words we speak are spirit and they are life. So we need to be mindful of the words we speak. All right. So the 4 types of communications are passive aggressive, and assertive. So I'm just gonna go through some of and give you some examples. So for passive, those individuals are typically quiet and don't seek attention. Quote unquote, the shy and quiet ones. They don't take like strong stand on things. Like they just water it down. They don't usually share their needs or express themselves. They don't express how they feel about something, even if they feel some kind of way. Like you just never know with them if they're comfortable, if they're uncomfortable. You just don't know. They have an easygoing attitude. They don't say no. And if you are a passive communicator, it is very, very, very important for you to work on your communicating skills. Try to find a way to still talk about things that you need. Talk about things that bothers you. Do not bottle it in. No, voice it out. If you're gonna voice it out by written or verbally, just find a way, the strength to express yourself. And aggressive communicator, they're aggressive. They very opinionated. They express themselves. They think, they speak before they even think sometimes. They tend to dominate conversations. They tend to dominate conversations. They take charge. If you are an aggressive communicator, sometimes it can be a bit much. You need to tone it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You need to assess your environment and be able to play the role that you are in depending on who you're speaking to. So sometimes you just need to tone it down a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So passive aggressive or individual, like their words may be agreeable, but their action don't align with what they're saying. Like they just agree with you, but their action will show like they're not in line with what you said, or they're not in agreement, but they don't know how to say. They don't know how to say it with words, but they will show it through their actions. Feel pressure, they don't know how to defend themselves when they are pressure. So when they feel pressure, they just agree with you, but their action will show how they really feel. Assertive communicators are respectful and productive. They're very assertive. They know what they want. They know how to express what they want to express. They know how to ask for help. They know how to back down from pressure. They know how to handle themselves in uncomfortable situations or even comfortable situations. They know how to carry themselves. They know how to play around with words. Like, they know how to address and unaddressed. They're very assertive. These people understand their limits and protect their boundaries. So verbal, non-verbal, visual, or written, all form of communication. Communication is very, very important. You have to know people's style of communicating. You know your style of communicating. Be able to identify other people's ways of communicating. And it's very, very important. It's very important to know that lack of communication is not good. So give yourself time to respond to other people. If you rush in responding, sometimes you might say the wrong thing. If they're in your face, face to face, you can think before you act. So you can also take your time in answering them. You don't need to rush with a response all the time, because by rushing with a response, sometimes you say things without understanding the concept, because you just rush to an answer just to answer. So it is best to take your time. Don't rush in answering anyone. And another thing, don't allow people to get comfortable hurting you, disrespecting you, using you. Do not allow people to get comfortable disrespecting you. That is not a good thing. So do not allow people to get comfortable disrespecting you. Do not allow it. Because once someone gets used to treating you any kind of way, it is impossible for them to change. Because they're used to treating you any kind of way. So the relationship you have with them won't be a solid one, because they can treat you any kind of way and they feel like they can get away with it. So do not allow anyone to get away with disrespecting you. That relationship is a one-sided relationship. They have no remorse. They're not going to think twice about it. So do not allow anyone to get comfortable disrespecting you. They will never grow to respect you. Once you let someone get away with disrespecting you, they will never grow into respecting you. It's impossible, because you allow them to get away with disrespecting you. But what you can do is deny them the access so that they don't disrespect you. Develop a way to communicate. You have to be able to identify body language, facial expression, and eye movements. And when you are communicating, you have to be mindful of the indirect messages you may be sending. While you think in one way, they are thinking the other way. And what's a joke to you is something serious to the next person. You gotta understand that too. Clash of cultures. Understand, when you're communicating with people, you have to know their level of understanding, their level of comprehension. You have to know their level of comprehension. You can't just talk to anybody. Looks can be deceiving. They look like they got it all together. They look like they're mature. They look like they can handle certain things, only to find out it's a trap. Looks can be deceiving. So, not everyone is mature enough to handle every information, or just information that is above their understanding. So be careful with that. Be very, very mindful of what you say to people, how you say it. Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's how you say it. So be mindful on what you say and how you say it, because people are listening and they will use it against you. So the four types of communication are aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive. We need to understand people's way of communicating. So know who you're talking to, know their level of comprehension. Take your time getting to know people, because once you take your time to get to know people, you will understand the type of person and the way they communicate and how they are in certain situations. Example for me, I will always use myself as an example because I have no one else to use. So, like, example for me, like, knowing my personality, knowing who I am as a person, you can't tell me Jack was talking about me, because I'm going to approach Jack. If you don't want me to approach Jack, don't tell me if Jack was talking about me. Don't tell me. Be like, I ain't going to tell her, because I know how she'll handle it. And you be right, because if you tell me, oh, T, Jack was talking about you, I'm like, okay, thanks. Hey, Jack, what's the problem? We cool? We cool, Jack? What's going on, Jack? We cool? What's the problem? You want to talk about it? So you have to know people. If you don't know how people are, you be thinking you just telling them information when you don't know how the result will be. So somebody like me, you can't tell me no one's talking about me, because if you don't want me to approach that person, then don't tell me, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to approach that person and be like, oh, you was talking about me. What's up? Hi, I'm here. How you doing? So you gotta know people. You gotta know people before you start giving out information freely. You gotta understand people. You can't just be thinking everybody your friend or everyone just an open ear. No. Be careful on who you just talking to as friends, or just talking to in general. It might be used against you. They might embarrass you, disappoint you. All in all, you have to take your time getting to know people, because that is avoided. Once you get to know people, you kind of understand how they are in most situations, so that you'll be able to know how to communicate with them, what to say, how much to share. You will know if you take your time getting to know people. So take your time getting to know people, because looks can be deceiving, and most of the time people cover up, but on the inside there's something totally different. But we gotta keep in mind, no matter how much we cover our outside, make the outside so appealing and polished, the inside matters, and the inside comes out of you. It shows in your personality, it shows in your appearance, it shows in just your daily lives. So you can try your best to cover what's in the inside, but it will still show. So understand who to talk to, what to share, what not to share, and understand their style of communicating. So until we meet again, you know I let the truth be told. You are tuned into Conversation with Boy You Know.